Welcome to Deep Dives with Dogs. Well, today's topic is going to be kind of talking about the how our food has changed and what has been added to it in many ways to maybe increase health benefits or things like that, or shore up things that people weren't getting enough of. This is going to be more specifically talking about the U.S., but it can apply to other nations as well, because other nations have done this, and maybe not necessarily in the same way, but yeah. And this is we're going to be focused on the selling of iodized table salt. Um, so table salt, iodized table salt, is first sold in 1924, which is kind of funny to think because it's kind of everywhere now. And it was it was sold in Michigan, in a city in Michigan, um, and it was part of this place called the Gyroid or Gyroid Groid belt, which is talking about a problem in the thyroid from the lack of iodine in a diet. And so they iodize table salt because people use it quite a bit. Look at that, solves the issue. Um, Table salt is, it's kind of funny to think of its evolution in time. Salt was once a super valuable resource, sometimes on the levels of like gold, you could say, because it would get so rare at certain points, and because it's used for so much. You know, you use it to preserve things, you use it to make food taste better. It can be used for many different solutions for things. Salt is just very important. It's just like spices, you know, different uses for different things. But um, by this time, salt it's still useful in many of those ways, preserving food, things like that. But it's starting to kind of lose its super importance, and especially very soon it will because of the invention of the refrigerator, which you know not everyone will have it, but it will eventually become very widely adopted. Uh, but table salt still allows people to do many things. Now, one thing that this really shows is how food has kind of had things added to it in order to make up for deficiencies that people have. A good example of this is breakfast cereal. Breakfast cereal, if you look at the ingredients on it, it's got a lot of things in it that just the basic ingredients would not have. You know, it's sugar. There's sugar in it, and then that's pretty much all it is, because it's a lot of times it's corn or it's wheat or maybe another kind of grain, and they'll add some sugars and things like that, and that's just like a basic flavoring thing. But then they add like things like iron and stuff like that, and they add a bunch of it to help improve deficiencies that people might have. Bread is another example. They've added things to bread to ensure people are getting certain vitamins and certain minerals and things like that, which people may not eat in a normal day to day. That's why if you look at bread from back in the day, and even homemade bread, um, unless you get enriched flour or things like that, if you just get basic flour, it won't necessarily be as nutrient dense as store-bought bread. Now, obviously, there's problems and things like that. And of course, there'll be issues no matter what. But um, there's just certain things you have a problem with. Oh, Jasper just said he didn't want to be part of this video no more. But but at the end of the day, this does help a lot of people. A lot of people may not have access to be able to purchase certain foods or, well, yeah, that's basically it. That would give them the vitamins and minerals that they normally would need. And so instead, you give them food that has those things. And this has kind of been the evolution of food and stuff like that for a while now. Food has changed more and more, and people have always added things to food to try to get a desired um, nutrient mix, you could say. A good example of this, if you ever heard of grog. Grog is a type of watered down beer, really, but it has a lot of citrus and things like that in it to help prevent scurvy. So, ooh, interesting, isn't it? Humans have always liked to engineer our foods to be better for us and to just be better. So, every food you eat today just gonna be honest, every food you eat today has at some point been modified by a human being to either taste better or look better or be better for you in some ways. So humans have been doing this for thousands and thousands of years. Watermelons are probably one of the more well-known examples. Watermelons, if you go back to their ancient past, they're just this white, pulpy. It's mostly the white pulp, the white rind, I guess. But they contained massive amounts of water. Well, eventually someone thought, well, why not increase the red part, the fruity part, the sweetness part, and they did that over time, and that's where we eventually got the watermelons of today. Now it took a lot of time to get there, but yeah. And we've been doing this for a long time. But what do you guys think of your food that's being enhanced or enriched with different things? Do you think it's weird? Do you think it's bad? Um, or do you think it's good for the population to get things that they don't normally get and that they kind of need? But that's going to do it for this video. If you guys like the video, leave a like. If you have any ways I can improve these videos, leave a comment down below. I read all the comments. And as always, subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Thank you.